I'm documenting Dad's life
You are.
over time.
Over time.
Yeah.
Turn 71 next
You
month.
sell it
so
for any
let's-
money, can I share the profit?
Yeah.
So you'll be 71 next month? I can't remember. Or next year, right?
Can we move now?
Okay. Well, no, try to eat right.
Oh, Tom, I'm not
try
going
to
to
eat-
eat that close to him.
There, that's good. That's good.
You're on TV now. You're gonna be famous.
This
are
is going
great.
to cost you. This is going to cost you today.
These are great. So this is Dad's horse, named Sunny.
Okay, then I'll keep these and they'll...
And this is Dad's dog, named
Jeannie.
what? Jeannie?
Jeannie.
Original.
Ironic.
Lady Jean of Edinburgh, really.
And this is Tom.
Tom, a little guy. 7 months?
7 months.
7 months.
Maybe 8. at
He was
most.
cute then.
And this
thought it was
is
pretty-
Dad.
There's your father.
And this is Dad,
Age
I thought it
3.
was pretty
age
cute.
3
Age 3 years old. South Dakota, I think.
in South Dakota.
Must
I think
be.
so.
Must be.
South Dakota.
That's pretty cool.
Aren't those good? So can you get it? Send that to your daughter?
Yeah,
Okay.
do that.
Okay, then I won't send her these.
Okay.
Is that okay?
And I also have pictures of them. I can send her stills too.
Okay. That would be good.
I took a picture of the picture.
That'll save me some postage. That's what I really like.
God, I sent her, what the hell was it? Oh, clothes that Annie, Annie told all the women.
Yeah.
And Jamie wanted some things, so I sent her a box and a box to my sister. And the box to Alaska cost me $177. It was
Alaska?
the cheapest. They
What a
figured
way.
out. They figured out the best way to do it. It could have cost a lot more. Anyway, FedEx, but it's worth it. There's a lot of stuff in there.
Was it a heavy box?
And like they told me, she figured it just whatever way you could. Several boxes.
Thank you.
And the slowest way by
You're
land.
not anymore. We had to cut that part out.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Doing a good job today, as usual he does.
Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed.
So how was your play the other day? You and Peter went to.
Oh, that was really good.
Was it good? Good. I have a friend that's involved in that, named
Mom and I
Joan
were gonna-
Freed.
That was in it?
Joan Freed. No, she's a director or something.
Oh yeah, at Lakewood.
Yeah,
Lakewood.
yeah.
Oh,
Anyhow,
they do a good job. We had, Mom likes to go to Lakewood. We were going to see Sister Acts, and I had these 2 tickets, so I called Pete and told him that I couldn't go, and I didn't want to go, and I'd give them to him. And he said, "Well, I'll just buy a 3rd ticket, and we'll all go later." So, because it was full, it was sold out.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, they delayed it like a week and redid the whole thing, and so we went in the middle of the week at night. It was still jammed. God, it was a good production.
Good.
The gal that played Whoopi Goldberg and was absolutely stunning.
Really?
Here's all these white nuns dressed up in habits, and this black girl just stands out like a sore thumb, and she's got a voice that quit. Very good production.
So what's this restaurant you said you might go to there too? You went to a restaurant there for dinner?
Same place, Mazzano's, so we go to.
Oh, Mazzano's. Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that place.
We usually go there. That's
That
where
wasn't
Mom
the
and I
name you said on the text.
I dictate that text. Sometimes it doesn't come out of the way.
Oh, okay. Because I had never heard of that restaurant. That's why I'm asking. That's what I was asking.
Because it was probably
I'd never heard of that. I thought, gee,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I should edit it more. I like that because it's so quick.
Mazzano's is good.
Oh, you just voice record it?
Yeah. Just voice record it and that's it.
Misunderstand.
That you don't have time to,
I don't. My fingers don't work.
Oh,
so good
yeah.
on those damn.
you use your elbows, that do you? It screws up a lot. It messes up, but
It sounds like about the same as dictating. Anyway, I like that.
So Jamie told me she lives at Eagle River, Alaska. Have you been there? Mm-hmm. Is that a pretty cool place?
It's a small little
Bedroom community.
of Anchorage, but not far out of town.
Is there a river there called Eagle River?
Yes.
Is
There
there?
are rivers everywhere.
It's got a great name. I love the name, Eagle River.
Josh works at the fire station in Eagle River, so
I see. Oh, that's
5
cool.
minutes from their house.
Oh, that's cool.
They've got great rivers in Alaska they haven't even named. They're so dadgum remote.
And
Well,
his
I know,
parents
so
live upriver about a half hour
Oh,
in the mountains.
that's cool.
Yeah, so
Further away from Alaska, from Vancouver.
yeah, way up up in a hill.
That's neat. He works so close to home now.
Yeah,
He said 5 minutes or something like that.
yeah, it's just up
That's
the road.
really neat.
Fire station. Yeah,
Has he been a fireman for a while? Or
yeah, all of his.
all of his life?
Life, I think.
That was he. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
He's a paramedic.
Oh, really? Good for him.
Yeah.
That was smart training to get him told him so. Real neat, especially there,
Yeah.
because a lot of injuries occur a long ways from help.
Mostly on the road driving.
I don't know.
I would think most people drive up there. I think.
We're in the field, hunting, fishing, accidents, climbing. They're special people. They think, and understandably, that the laws and rules about game and fish don't apply to them because they're domestics. You know, you see a sign that'll say, you can fishing allowed between midnight and 4 a.m. And there'll be 3 or 4 guys sitting on the bank with poles in the water. And you say,
Seriously? That's true.
You say, what about that sign? Yeah, that's for you, the tourists.
That's really.
Get out of here and leave us alone.
Really? I'll be darned. That's interesting. That's good country.
In fact, we put that sign up so you would leave.
Probably, probably.
Have you been to Alaska?
I have not.
No, you should go
I
sometime.
know.
It's a fun country.
Should have done a lot of things, but. Well, no. I mean, I've been in a lot of state national parks too.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, but. I watch
Gene,
all the programs, flying around Alaska. God, it's so beautiful.
It's-
So remote.
yeah, it is.
So
It
remote.
is.
And I keep thinking of those little tiny engines on those airplanes.
Yeah, I
and they're
thought the same
flying over
thing.
ice fields, and I think, oh my God.
But Anchorage has got everything you'd ever want. It's,
does.
It's like Eugene or something. It's big. Costco.
Well, I like the remote part. That's so beautiful.
And the fishing part.
Yeah, well, that's all part of the remote. Shouldn't be anything.
Are you doing any fishing these days?
I haven't.
Oh.
I want to try this spring.
Are
yeah.
you?
Yeah, I do. I've been getting licenses.
It is spring.
I know.
We get a free
I looked
license
at
now, don't we?
I looked at Maupin and where you can go up and down. There's all kinds of fishing allowed there. That's where I took Luke. And
The shoes?
yeah,
Yeah,
and it's good fishing.
yeah, can be. If you know what you're doing.
No, there's no fishing in Canby.
Yeah, there is Canby Pond.
Oh, Canby
They stock
Pond.
it. They've got brood trout
Really?
for the kids. Yeah,
That's
I've
a
seen
good
them,
idea.
God, 20 inches long.
Really?
Yeah, for the kids.
That's a nice thing, though. Nice idea.
I remember some of the fishing trips the three of us used to go on into the shoots.
Yeah, in the spring, I remember too.
Lynn and I drive by that point when we go to see, when Melissa lived in Redmond, we went by there. And she says, I always tell her all the stuff we used to do
Remember
there.
that
She says,
point?
oh, no, I heard it last time. There was still a fisherman last time we went by. There was a fisherman on the point there.
I believe it.
But it sure is overgrown. You can't
Oh, yeah.
get to it very
Yeah.
well.
That's because people are not fishing the way they used to.
Yeah,
Because you can't
regulations.
keep anything. You got to put it back, really.
Yeah. I think you can keep 2, but it's a narrow window of size.
And hatchery side, hatchery only.
It's under 20 and over 18, something
No
like
wild fish.
that. No wild fish.
That's
And
a
no
problem.
live bait.
No what?
No bait.
That's okay. But Fish Hawk, they ruined it for us when they made it catch and release. But we had such good Fish Hawk.
But why does that ruin it?
Because I used to go down there and catch sea trout in the evening. We'd arrive and I'd get the pole and run down to the bank and catch a fish,
For dinner?
a couple of them, and bring them up and clean them on the spot. Bring them up, Mom, put them in the fry pan, we had them for dinner.
So you should have put a sign up saying
I love
2
that.
only
Yeah,
when you were
2
there.
only. I love that.
Yeah,
Can't
between
keep
midnight
any.
and 4.
I mean,
You can't keep any catch
You guys
and
can
release.
share.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
is that all for him?
Yeah. He even brought me.
God, you're the only one he's been
Jelly.
feeding here.
I know.
You guys used to hunt and fish together, right?
Yeah. Well, we hunted up and around Estacada, my old 31 Durant. Remember that? We'd drive along, you'd drive in there, hunting, running boards,
For
shooting
rabbits?
rabbits.
Yeah, God, they're fun. But, I wouldn't do it now. when you're young and don't know better. Those things are
One
hard to
time,
hit, man.
one time I got
I know, I've done it.
Yeah.
You try to drive
He's
and
good.
with him, and I
He was
get
a
off
marksman
the
in the
road,
Army.
Get
Oh,
off
was
the
he?
road and dodge
Was he?
trees with my old Durant, dodge trees. You know, you'd be busy looking around, all of a sudden there's a tree right in front of you. We had a hell of fun up there.
I didn't know that, Tom.
But he was a
Yeah.
marksman?
Yeah, I didn't
yeah.
know that.
Yeah, I did.
Because, you know, we were deer hunting up in the well. I was
an expert watcher.
I was about 19, and Christ, he saw this deer about 90 miles away, see? And I thought, you gotta be kidding. He lays
90
down.
miles.
Oh, yeah, maybe 100. Anyhow, he takes his time, and I couldn't believe he squeezed off a shot and he hit that thing. I still can't believe that. That's a long.
Over the curvature of the earth.
Well,
90
not
miles.
almost.
With an odd 6 at
I
500.
could not believe he
I know, I've
actually-
seen him shoot. That time he got 2 deer
Jeez.
in one shot, in 2 shots.
Really? 2 with 1 shot?
No, 2 with 2 shots.
2 with 2
No,
shots.
they were twin bucks, and we thought, I thought there were 2 of them.
I did too.
I thought
It
there
was
were
an optical illusion.
one of them, yeah, there were 2 of them.
He caught this deer running dead in a dead run from right to left, and he took a shot just before it ran into a thicket, and it just kept running after the shot. So I said, Dad, you missed it. And about the time you'd think it'd come out the other side, it did. And he took a second shot and he dropped it. And on a dead run, and then so we go dress out that deer, and some hunters came by and said, your son must be going to dress out the other deer back there in the thicket. Pretty soon we looked at each other. Yeah.
I'll be darned. I didn't know that.
One
That's a good
tag.
story.
Amazing shot. I mean,
Yeah,
to shoot on a dead run like that,
Yeah, I believe it.
And
I
get
can
them
see
both?
what I saw. I believe it.
it's just
Well,
Amazing.
your story's amazing too, but what I saw was amazing too.
consistent.
For a young man. I didn't know he was a
And I already had a deer, so we had 3 deer, but we had 4 hunters in our group. The other 2 were off hunting on their own. And we just said, hope those 2 guys don't get a deer
one.
today.
They come back and say, we got your deer
We got
for you."
your deer for you.
That would make
They
them
were
happy.
pissed at us
I
because we
bet.
filled their tag for them, kind of forced it upon them. But they continued to hunt for another deer that rest of the hunting trip, and they didn't get anything. So they had one.
What part of the
that's
country
right.
were you in?
China hat?
Ochicos.
Ochicos?
Oh, okay. Okay.
We go up on Strawberry Mountain, and we've been up there the previous year. That was the first year you went with a weapon. Yeah.
Aren't you going to eat your pineapple?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
no, I thought maybe we could push that away. Towards me,
I
usually.
was giving you toast, but you don't seem to win it. You don't eat
Well,
toast.
I will, but I like it with my food.
If you remember, we went on a later trip, and
yeah,
somebody
I did.
shot at us. He
Yeah.
kicked up dirt in front of us.
I remember that.
He does this army shoulder roll into a prone position and shoots back.
I don't remember
I'm
that.
standing up going, Dad, what the hell are you doing?
Shooting back at where they came?
Where it
Shooting
came
at you
from.
guys?
We
Really?
couldn't see
I've
anybody.
forgotten that. I've
But
forgotten
his
that.
army training, he reacted. And he lobbed shells back in the direction that that shot came
It was-
from.
Did they stop shooting at us?
Yeah.
Maybe it helped.
It was probably a wild shot, right? I think, on their part.
I think so. I don't
I mean-
because we never did see him.
Oh,
We
then
just
they
heard
probably-
the shot
they didn't
and
know
it
you
kicked
were
up
there.
dirt right in front of us.
Really?
So I think they thought maybe through the woods that we were deer,
Yeah, I kinda
or it was
forgot
just a
that.
stray shot. So he rolls into the dirt.
Good God,
I mean,
fire back, right?
I decided I'm not going hunting with him anymore. He's going to kill somebody.
God, if you kill somebody, that wouldn't be good. You could still be in prison.
But I was pretty impressed though.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, because I was really impressed. I'm not kidding you.
I'm so stupid. I'm still standing up, going, "What do I do?" He's on the ground.
Yeah.
We were
He gets up and
another-
he gets up and he says, "I'm sorry. He says my military training took over. I didn't know what I was doing."
I'd never heard that before.
Yeah, it's pretty
You know,
cool.
we were
kinda
up there.
forgotten that.
We were up in the wilds another time, him and I was about 19. Anyhow, Jesus, I'm just taking a leak because I got it, you know. And here he's over here somewhere. There's a lot of grass. There's high stuff. He says, "Here he comes!" And Jesus, I hear it.
I think I heard you were taking a shit.
I think he was. Anyway,
No. Because I had my rifle right there. It seemed like I fired at him.
Bell pepper.
No bell pepper. Yeah, thank you.
You guys want to catch up on anything?
No thanks.
Don't catch it. Thanks.
Thank you. Those are all good stories. I like hearing that.
I remember that going to the shoots and we had a limit of 10 per day per person, and we'd spend
Wow.
the night. The 3 of us would
right.
come back with 60 trout.
Oh my word.
And then he would say, "I don't really like trout.
I
You
know.
can have them."
I didn't
So
see that.
Dad and I spent the rest of the weekend putting 60 trout to bed in the freezer.
In the freezer. Until Jeannie finally said, "Don't bring home any more trout."
Not for at least a year.
She told me that in my grand too. Don't bring home any more ducks. 'Cause we had a
Ducks?
duck
Oh yeah, I
bag.
used to be a duck
I
guy
was
too.
going to college on a GI Bill, and I'd shoot a lot of duck.
That's how you lived on. What you lived on? Ducks.
Deer, duck, and fish.
You're living off the land.
I didn't know you were a marksman, but I believe it.
Well, that's the same gun that we shot in the service. 30-06.
What?
You're going to hit a target at 500 yards. You got to hold 5 feet 5 inches over the top of the target to hit a bullseye.
Wow.
It's a 30-06,
5 feet, you
180
said?
grain.
Yeah.
5 feet, 180 grain shell in a 30-06 weapon drops 5 feet 5 inches at 500 yards.
Well, you have to figure that out when you're shooting, right?
And you got open sights, remember? So you got to hold.
Really?
You got to hold. Then you got to take, because of the distance, 500 yards, you got to take the wind into consideration too. So if there's a little breeze. And in Monterey, California, where we were in boot training, there was pretty good ocean gusts. So you had to pay attention. Anyway, the prize was you got a 3-day pass.
Oh, really?
You shot expert. So
Wow.
that was pretty good.
You
And
bet.
When Mom joined
That's
me,
motivation.
when Mom joined me in New York, and they made us retrain at times. I lived off base, but if you came in the top 5, you got another 3-day pass. So I'd always make sure I got 3-day passes. Your mother loved it. Then I worked on National Breakdown, so for Mel Atwater. I worked for him. So I always had food left at the end of the run, and I just went home. 3 pounds of coffee, 2 pounds of butter. We ate pretty good.
I remember Tom on his sling on his rifle when I was 19. He had all the directions and all this crap I didn't even understand. At this distance and the wind, he had all this stuff. He had it all figured out already.
All those
Remember.
calculations.
Couldn't remember.
I'm one of these guys that just hold up the rifle and shoot and hope the hell you hit it.
We shot some pretty good bucks up there.
I remember you and I missed a big one though, around the very top. We could not hit that thing. I think I was overshooting him, but I don't know.
It's a very difficult shoot.
Do you remember that?
Up and down.
Kind of? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. Well, we only had seconds. This guy was a real oldie. He'd have been tougher at head, but
He was probably so, but he was big.
big buck.
Big buck.
But you know, once at Old Boy Camp, I never carried weapons, of course, there, but I'd be in the garden a long time, and then Mom would ring the bell for dinner, so I'd start up, be getting dusk, and several times I'd see this 4-point blacktail. It was off to the south, and I'd see it moving, and once I looked for it, because I knew there was one in there, and I'd stop and I looked at him, we looked at each other, and he just stared at me for the longest time. He knew I wasn't armed, probably. I wouldn't have shot him anyway. So I told Mom about it.
We used to put salt licks out for him.
Yeah, maybe a month later, same thing happened, but instead of, I stopped to look at the same damn big 4-point, and behind him was moving this bigger buck, and I just went, holy Toledo, that is one monster buck.
I'll be darned.
So that's when I told the hunters, you should come and hunt, because they were killing my garden.
Well,
So I had some hunters come, and I told them, you don't have to go down the valley. There's lawn chairs up there in the garden. Just sit there and wait. So I'd go back up there in the afternoon, and these guys would be down beating the brush. The deer would be up in my garden.
so as brothers, what was some of your earliest memories together? You're quite a bit of a difference in age.
I think hunting
The
and
old
fishing.
farm. Well, no, actually, Oregon City.
Oregon City, yeah, I remember that. We'd
You used to
sleep on
ride me to school on your bike.
that.
didn't
Yeah, that's
you?
right. That's right.
Really?
And then, the great ones was when he had the Enterprise route. We lived in Oregon City then. And he had the Enterprise Courier route. I think it was Enterprise Courier, right? Or Banner Courier, one of those.
Yeah, that's right.
And he used to take me on that. Him and Roger or somebody. Smelter? No.
Jack Bell.
Jack Bell, yeah. And God, I'm a little guy, right? They're like 12 and I'm 5. And
right.
they one day I remember they planted all this change on the street. Like we found a cache of money. Do you remember?
We didn't plan it. That was near Liberty Theater.
That was true?
We
You
checked
really
that out.
did find that?
We really did find
Oh,
that.
I thought you planned that.
No. That was true.
That was a riot.
See, that would be after the weekend, probably on a Monday morning, early. We always checked out the theater because there'd be money, change, people would process, whatever, be in the curb, right?
Yeah, it was on the
Why?
curb,
Find it
right.
along the curb.
Right.
People
I don't
drop
know
it.
Yeah, change.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Huh.
Not always, but sometimes enough to make you look. So you remember that, huh?
Oh, yeah, I do, very much.
Remember me dragging you along Abernathy Creek?
Oh, God, I remember that. I was scared to death. Mother had me so terrified of water. We took me in that brown water. I didn't know how deep it was. 100 feet to me.
Grandma had you afraid of water?
Oh, I'm terrified. She never learned to swim.
tried to get me
She's
started,
terrified
too.
of water. So she'd tell us stories. And
She scared you as a little
oh,
kid?
God, yes. But then later in life, she got me into swimming lessons, which now I'm fine. I love water. But then in those days, God. What's funny is in Oregon City, we live right next to the Willamette River there.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, a block away. Not even that.
Where was the house in Oregon City?
Right across from McMenamin's, still there, McMenamin's little restaurant right there on,
Oh, McLaughlin?
just off of McLaughlin.
It's not still there.
It is.
The house? It's up on the hill.
No,
McMenamin's.
McMenamin's.
Oh, McMenamin's. Oh, McMenamin's.
It's a little white, it's across from the bank, I think.
That's right.
I can't think of the street name now. 7th or 9th, I can't remember.
103 9th Street.
9th Street. Oh, really? Okay, well, I knew it was 7th or 9th.
Yeah.
And that house is gone now?
Moved it up on the hill.
Oh. They moved the whole house.
Whole
Yeah,
house.
they
Yeah,
did.
moved it up Singer Hill. You can believe that.
But it's still there in that new place?
Yeah, it was the last time I was up there.
Yeah, but I can't tell which house it is, but it's one of those.
Yeah, I know.
There's
which
like
one.
3 that look all the same, kind of. Right? Don't you think?
Yeah, this one is. I remember it.
This house was before the Thiessen Road area farm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We moved there because in 41 because Dad had a job at the mill
Oh. And you worked at the mill.
in college. Part time. I had a good job there. Yeah.
In Oregon City, we lived right next to St. John's Church and school.
Oh.
And they tore it down when I was still living there.
That's right.
Early 40s.
We could go through the fence. Remember, right there, school.
I had a ball there, frozen water. I should have never been around that, little tiny child. But I can still remember the smell from the wood being torn down, plaster and all that stuff. I can still remember that. And that was fun. And then Oregon City was a great place because in those days you didn't have to worry so much. And mother didn't seem to worry too much. We were everywhere. As 6-year-olds, first grade, everything.
We climbed around the falls.
You think that's why she put a fear of water in your head so you wouldn't be in the river where you'd be dangerous?
Yeah, I think it might have something with the river there.
She's-
Right, exactly.
so she knew-
But she was terrified of water. She said they threw her in when she was young and she sank and all. She had terrible memories. So she instilled that in us. But anyhow, Oregon City was great. God, those are great memories. And so was the old farm.
So why the move from Oregon City to the farm? What?
They were gonna move that house.
On Oregon City?
They sold it.
Oh, I didn't know that was the reason.
They were only paying $25 rent on that house, and they could rent out rooms for half that. So for a while, they rented rooms. You remember that?
I just remember the house.
And they
Your
both
parents
worked-
did, you mean?
They both worked at the shipyard, so they had good income. But the problem was, my dad would spend it fast when he came in.
But they rented that house in Oregon City, right? That was a rental.
Oh,
okay.
it was a rental.
Yeah, they never owned
They
it.
rented it. Paid
But they
20
bought the farm?
No,
No, that was a rental too.
I wanted him to. I was just a kid, but I knew the owner, and he offered us that whole thing for 10 acres for $5,500. And I got a deal with him for $500 down, but I couldn't raise the 500. Besides, I was only like 14 years old.
Already,
He was considering buying real
already
estate.
I knew
thinking
that was a
now.
hell of a good buy. 10 acres of land with a little creek through the back.
Well, hell yes, it was. Look what it is today.
And Ceres next door had to move out. That's what prompted me to try to do something with it. Ceres had a truck farm right next door. They couldn't afford to stay there anymore. Land was getting too expensive. So they were going to move. That made me think that, geez, we got 10 acres. They only had 5. I thought, geez, that'd be a hell of a buy. Mm-hmm. Would have been for $5,500. I never forgot it. And that old guy liked me because I do extra work for him. I wouldn't charge him. So he let us be late with the rent. That's when I decided to get the hell out of there.
And then there was a fire on the property, you said one time.
Yeah.
We were in the 8th grade.
Dad was
That's
up
when I
in
was
the
riding
room.
you to.
Was that in the barn or something? It wasn't in the main house.
He was sleeping. Yeah, I was
yeah,
in the main
was
house
it in the main
upstairs.
house? Oh, was it in
upstairs.
the main house? Oh,
It was a chimney fire.
Oh. But it destroyed the house or no?
No, but it damaged it severely. But
I remember that day really well.
I went to school and
Did
the
you?
only sweater I wore
Very
was
exciting.
full of smoke.
When you're little.
I bet.
Your mother used to tell me. She said, I told her what happened because that's the only sweater I had. It smelled of smoke, you know. But Dad
Right.
didn't use his head with getting it. They had renter's insurance, if you can imagine.
They did back then?
Yes, that's right. I know. I'm just shocked too.
I didn't know that.
So
That's
he got a
interesting.
settlement from the insurance company for the fire, but he spent it instead of buying clothes and stuff he should have done.
Well, she probably helped him spend it.
Probably.
Were you both home when the fire started?
I was.
I was too. I don't
Yeah.
remember you. I remember.
I rode my bike to the end of the road to direct the fire truck.
Oh.
Most days, we had no cell phones.
No phone. We didn't have a phone.
I got down to the end of that road, I could really ride that bike. I told them, they were down there stopped, looking around trying to figure out where we were. Because everything was Route 1 box 213A, Oregon City. Well, hell, that could be any house within walking distance, you know.
But you had a phone to call?
No, neighbors did. They
We
didn't
went to
even-
Adelaide's
Yeah.
house, I think.
That's right.
Adelaide was her name.
Right, that's right, she raised
See, I
rabbits.
remember one thing.
Raised rabbits, remember that?
God, I love that street. Apples, orchards on that street, and we were hungry kids. Oh my God, I love apples anyway.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, they call it king apple. I remember the king. It was like a grapefruit. Yeah, they were
You're right.
great. We got
You're
them
right.
out. We wait for the school bus and apples out the butt, man. Thank you. That was great.
And the owner,
Still like apples.
That part was. Oh, I do. I love
I'm
it.
still on TV.
Thanks,
huh?
Jimmy.
if the farmer or
still
owner
on
of the
TV,
property didn't mind?
No. Shit, they had 50 million of them laying there. I don't know what they must have harvested them.
Thanks.
but-
You're right, there were some
Hey, I'm still on TV.
great fruits around there.
You are.
Watch. I'm still on TV, right?
It's going to cost you. Some of that was really good memories. I have good memories.
And from that house, then you moved where?
I went to Chestnut Street. I asked how much they charged me to move in.
He did.
I want to get out of that farmhouse.
Oh yeah, he moved out.
He moved out. And
Besides,
then we were,
I was a freshman at Central then, and I had to walk a mile and a half to the streetcar, get on the streetcar right into Portland, change to a bus to cross. They call it Ridge Transfer, and then go to Stark Street and then walk up to 24th and Stark. So it took me an hour and a half, easy.
Each way.
Each way, maybe an hour and 3/4. So that was a lot of damn work. Chestnut Street, I could ride my bicycle in on past Iron Farm in there on 17th to Stark Street. Hell, it was half the distance. So I like that. Then I got a car when I was 15.
really like that.
They gave you a permit at 15 that you could drive, but you had to have a licensed driver with you. Except if you were a student, you could drive to and from school. No adult. So I got the Foy brothers to ride with me and charge them money, help me pay for gas until they wouldn't pay me. And that worked out really well. So I could be at school a piece of cake. And I had time to work. I had a job after school. What were you going to say?
Foy brothers? Is that what you said?
Yeah. I
Like Jim? And who went with you?
4 of them. I don't remember.
Bob Foy would be one.
4 of them.
Really? Tusk? Bob?
Three
Tusk?
in back, 1 in front.
Tom? Maybe Tom over Foy?
I don't remember their first names.
God, I don't either.
I was in
that.
I was in the same class as one of them, but not in my.
That was Bob Foy.
Yeah.
He was your
that's
age.
right, That sounds right.
Nice guy, real nice.
They were all nice guys.
They were nice guys, yeah. Very nice family.
So the Chestnut was where the Adams lived?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I had a room up in the closet. I had a pull down closet ceiling and with stairs. We'd come down. I'd go up there. That's where I'd study. And,
In the attic?
but it was really nice. It didn't cost me anything.
It didn't?
All I had to do was yard work.
How did you meet them, the Adams?
I picked filberts for them out in Wilsonville for 2 years.
Really?
12 to 14, yeah. Picked filberts and big elsewhere beans and hops. So I was late and come to school every year. Sister Regina liked that. She thought it was. So she let me come in October. 1st of October. That's where I met your mother.
Well, how did you feel about losing your parents at that age? Was that
Great.
really?
I missed the kid.
I was envious.
Were you?
I missed
Well,
the
yeah.
kids.
Kids out on his own at 15?
Oh, well, no, you're getting away from that, what we had.
3 meals a day. All I had to do was work, piece of cake.
Tom,
And go to
it was a
school.
mess. We had, I remember Connie and I making, I don't know where anybody was. We made, I can remember we had nothing to eat. We found bread and sugar and butter and canned cream. We'd make sandwiches out of that. I can remember that.
Fruit. Canned fruit.
No, what I'm telling you is what we made.
That's
sandwiches.
what you made. Really?
Yeah, we made, yeah. And I can remember occasionally, I'm not saying there wasn't other food, I just didn't know how to find it, but we would get canned tuna and make the tuna and go out in the garden and find lettuce and
you
put
telling
lettuce on that. And and that was pretty good, you know.
And your mom was off working
I don't know where
during the
anybody
time?
was. I don't know where anybody
She
was.
was off working. And
Maybe
he was off
Doris
drinking.
was there, I don't know.
Doris stayed till she was 16. And
Something like that. I remember Clay and I
that was
got
a bad place.
that old farmhouse. Clay and I got locked in underneath the kitchen sink. That was our fault. We were playing. It had an outside latch on it. Inside, you're screwed.
I didn't remember that.
Oh God, we're underneath there, you know, and I'm the oldest. And geez, man, you know, I have to admit, I really did pray that.
Scared the hell out of you. Huh?
Yeah, because I couldn't get
You
out.
just
Pushing-
hiding, just playing games?
Yeah, we got locked in. Yeah, nobody. I think Doris was in her bedroom sleeping. I don't remember. But anyhow, I remember putting my back against the wall, my legs up against that door, praying. I'm pretty little.
Yeah.
Praying, God would help me. And geez, I'm pushing, and finally that door popped open, and I figured he helped me.
Why not?
Sounds
Yeah,
like-
right. And,
Sounds like to me.
so we got out of there. I don't think we went back underneath there again.
Why else was it such a bad place? Just a bad family environment?
There you go.
No refrigerator. Wood stove to cook and heat. I had to split kindling and wood every morning and night.
Yeah, but that part was good. I used to do that. I
Not
don't
when it's
like
colder
that.
than hell out there. and
Well,
poorly dressed.
you remember that better. I don't. I was little.
No water. The damn
We had a
pump
well.
stopped on the well, so I had to go out to the well, and it was a shallow well. I had to carry buckets of water in to cook with and to take a bath, which was once a month. We're lucky.
I don't remember any of that.
It was
It's
all terrible.
blocked out.
It was just terrible. And the house had no heat at night. You'd bank up the stove, but it'd get
It wasn't
cold.
even finished inside.
We were upstairs in an unfinished second story.
Just rafters.
Really?
And they weren't even. There was sometimes the rafters you walk right through them. The next room.
It was not good.
It was probably that house when we moved there was probably. God, it had to be 60, 70 years old.
It was.
It had to be at least that. Oh, Bonnet owned that one. Was up there.
You know the value I put on that house when I talked to the owner of that thing? Zero. I was buying land.
That
10
might have been
acres-
high.
10 acres of land, and like I told him, you got to tear down that old barn.
There you go.
Remember the old barn was?
I do leaning.
It was dangerous. That had to be torn down, and the house itself was, light a fire. I always wish they'd let the damn thing burn myself.
Dad tried it once at one time. I mean, when he caught fire, he didn't do it.
He didn't do
I
much
don't know
to-
what caused that fire. Chimney fire.
Chimney fire. it
Chimney
was,
fire.
Yeah.
Somebody built a fire in the fireplace, though.
There was no fireplace. There was a wood stove.
Wood
What
stove.
happened is
Oh.
the tar would build up in the chimney from the wood burning.
Probably before we even got
And,
there.
and he didn't always get seasoned wood. A lot of it was green,
Yeah.
which made it worse.
So you were kind of thrust into the head of household position at such a
Hey.
young age. That's what really
Too
took
much.
you off.
Too much.
Robbed you of your childhood a little bit, huh?
Grow up too fast, right?
Didn't have one.
I can't
Rode him
complain about
to-
that.
I rode him from that farmhouse to St. John's, Oregon City for a year.
On your
Through
bike?
all kinds of weather. Yeah, he'd ride the
On the handlebars.
handlebars.
Once we had a couple of guys give us a bad time, like they were going to do something to me, and he knocked their bikes down. He was ready to kick their ass. Totally. No, really. He was my hero forever. I mean, there was no screwing around. And God, these guys,
Kind of a
I can't
street
remember-
savvy kid, wasn't he?
Yeah, I can't remember that they
a
fled,
street
but
kid.
they backed off and got the hell out of it. It was great. I thought, man,
That house was
because
terrible.
to me he was 25 years old. I'm a little tiny 5-year-old. You know?
Uh-huh.
He's 5 years older.
Which is a lot when you're your age.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was pretty impressed.
I felt bad leaving you guys because I knew you'd have a hard time.
I wasn't. Yeah.
Eating.
But that nothing on you. That was nothing.
I still
That's
felt
that
guilty.
was just life, and that's what we were dealt. Everybody gets their cards dealt.
He survived. obviously.
I used to be shy. Can you believe that? I was, 10 years old. I was shy. The nuns. I can remember I wouldn't even raise my hand to get back and I peed my pants once in the school room. Yeah, St. John's or Milwaukee. I remember that.
St. John's, Milwaukee.
Yeah, that was embarrassing. Yeah, I went to St. John, Milwaukee, 6 years or 7 years.
You caught a school bus, didn't you, down at the end of the road?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
But even though you moved out, you kept in touch and kept an eye on him, checked in on him.
Well, I tried to.
Well, he did good. We'd ride over because we were pretty close, a mile or two.
Yeah.
You know? So we'd ride over and see where he lived, and God, be impressed. Huh? Wow, look at this house,
Wow.
beautiful. He was really good to us. And they had a little tiny can on the garage that they'd play ball with.
Oh, I
They'd
forgot that.
remember that tennis
Yeah.
ball? I think it was a regular.
Like playing basketball? Kind of
yeah,
shooting?
except it was
Yeah.
to the court can,
Uh-huh.
nailed up there, and then they had a tennis ball, I think. Tennis ball, I think.
I can't remember.
It had to be
but-
small, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it
I've
would
forgotten
destroy
that.
it, I think.
Yeah, that
I
was
remember
fun.
that really well.
I'm a busy
That's
guy.
funny.
I had to keep Johnny's car clean, my own car clean, the garage clean, and I had to make sure the 55-gallon drums of gas were full. All I had was a phone number, but that was my responsibility. But the yard kept getting worse because one time they moved in a weeping tree of some kind, and the damn thing we moved it. That was it. So we had to dig a trench out of the pit, and then hook it to the car, tow it by, I guess, rope, as I remember, and then drop it into the other hole. Well, guess who got to dig the holes? That took me like days to get that job done.
You were kind of their houseboy.
One
huh?
thing, one thing I never had a worry about was there was always plenty to do.
They keep you busy, but that was good for you.
That's
It
how you
was.
paid your rent, huh?
That's how I paid my rent. And then they bought that apartment house, and that changed everything. Then I couldn't drive my car every day because I had to take a streetcar after school early to go over to 24th and Vaughan and work in that apartment house.
That's the apartment building that was part of the Expo, Portland Expo?
Still there.
Yeah, I've driven by it.
Yeah. 90 units. That's a lot of fun.
Johnny owned that.
Adams bought that. They traded a ranch in Southern Oregon for it and some cash. They sold it for $165,000.
Well, that's a lot of money back.
1950 or 51.
That's a lot of money.
I thought that was a lot of money. Today, the land is worth probably $15 million.
So when they bought that, did they move out of the Chestnut Street?
No,
house
we
then?
stayed there all the
Oh.
Kept that.
That was a nice spot right there, that Chestnut Street area. In those days, that was nice. McLaughlin wasn't too busy, and
Do you remember the Chestnut Street address?
3111.
3111 Southeast Chestnut?
Still there.
It's still there?
yeah, it is. I remember. I go by there once. No.
I painted all the trim in it.
I
No
would like a
thanks.
little more, please.
I
Thank
would
you.
too, please. Yeah, I painted all the trim in that house twice. Green.
How long did you live there?
Oh, about until I got married.
Thank you.
5 years, 4 years, 4 years.
Well,
The
that's
old
when you
man
got
got,
married, like
the old man
17.
got really bad. He had a bad heart. He carried nitroglycerin pills. I remember having to dig them out of his pocket, opening his little bottles, and let him take one under his tongue. They were good to me. When we got married, shortly after, they gave me the property, the paper to that property. So it was worth about 10 grand.
Really? I
Which
didn't know
was pretty
that.
nice. Yeah. We used that for a down payment on our second house, on the river house.
Oh.
The River House. Oh, okay. I
They're really
remember
good to
they
me.
loved you. I remember, and they should.
They were good people.
Well, damn, they knew what they had. He was
The old man was
when he was
a
young.
good teacher.
They wanted.
Good teacher. One job, and Johnny wanted to do it too, was we'd run down to the Oregonian on Sunday morning, drive into town, and buy the paper when it was available. The Sunday paper on Saturday night, I guess it was. Anyway, drive home, and then we'd study the want ads. If there were any for sale, new ones, we'd rush out there and be the first ones to have access to it. We went to the Portland Hotel sale, the old Portland Hotel across. The first day that it opened, in the first hour, we were like number 10 or 12 in the line. And Johnny already had it planned. You rush up to one of the first bedrooms and pick out a mahogany bedroom set and put sold on it and get the number. And then I'm going to go here, and then we'll meet later, and then you can run down and get your trailer and come up and we'll load it. Oh, okay. So I parked my Durant and my trailer on about Washington Street where it comes into Burnside. Let's see it. And just before it comes into Burnside, I parked because parking was hard with a trailer
Yeah.
in those days. So I had to walk from there back to the hotel. Anyway, we bought 2-bedroom sets and some odd tables. And we had to get that all in that trailer in my little Durant. And we did.
And you took that furniture where?
To Chestnut Street and refinished it.
Oh, you refinished all the furniture.
I didn't do any of it. He did.
Uh-huh.
He was the machinist and the furniture guy. And then
Yeah, box O'Grady.
no thanks. Yeah, and then one of my best jobs that I liked was buying at the auction for the apartment house. I got $25 was my limit. I told you that story.
What auction is this?
It's called, oh God, what the hell was it? Can't remember the guy's name. He was on 83rd and Powell.
Really?
Can't remember his name.
83rd.
On the right hand side. Can't remember. Anyway, bought a lot of bedroom sets. And then I told you a story about the ice boxes. In that 90-unit apartment house we bought, or they bought, all the apartments, each one had a ice box.
Really, the old-fashioned.
And the iceman would come around and they deliver, a quarter for 25 pounds. So we wanted to put refrigerators, gas refrigerators, because we had gas in the apartment house. Still had the old gas deals hanging in the rooms. And then the stoves, we were going to replace those with Wedgwood, all used stuff. And Johnny was in charge of the appliances. All I had to buy was bedroom furniture. So I'd go to, I think his name was Worrell, I can't remember. Anyway, so I'd load that stuff on my little trailer, tool down the apartment house, and Johnny helped me unload it.
Would it be quite an amazing coincidence if the ice came from O'Gallery's building, which was an ice house
Yeah, wouldn't that be something?
back
Yeah.
then?
1915, it's very possible. I remember, the fun part was, I had a hand truck and we'd move these ice boxes to there was only a 2-story building. To the second story, we moved them to the porches on the ends, which were open. And then he'd come and help me when I got them all assembled. We just dump them over. When it hit, all the cockroaches would just rush out. The ground would be almost black with these poor cockroaches.
Really?
Because they'd been in there 50 years.
So you're buying the bedroom sets to furnish the apartment?
And then my best job of all was when I got to collect the quarters. I told you that story. But well, see, the gas meters were in each apartment, and they had to put quarters in to feed the gas so they could cook.
Really?
But what happened is no one had collected them for years and years and years, so they thought it was free. So when I first came around, and they loved me, those tenants, because I was just kids. They'd give me cookies and hot cocoa, and it'd be good to me. Until I emptied the damn quarters out. Then they discovered they had
If
free
you guys
quarters.
are in Leavenworth, we couldn't
Cook.
meet that week.
And they didn't like me anymore. So they'd hide from me, wouldn't answer the door. I think.
Didn't know they ever made a meter with a
Yeah.
pay meter for
Oh, yeah.
gas.
You fill them up, and the last quarter would stay in forever.
Oh,
Can't get any more in.
it wouldn't go in,
So it's free. Yeah.
and that's the way it was when you hated
in
your
this-
gas. She was a little Brit.
I got in this one room with this old woman, and she had a grand piano, in the only front room. It was just a 2 or 3 room apartment, 3 rooms, I guess. Anyway, and the walls were covered with newspaper. She'd cut out some of the newspapers and made them fit. She'd plastered the walls with newspaper. And I said, "How long have you lived here?" "Since it opened." She'd been here over 40 years.
She was doing that why? To insulate the walls, or?
Just in lieu of paint,
Oh,
decoration, I guess.
Change the look of the place?
How did you get the grand piano in here? The door is just... Well, she said they built the wall around the piano.
I'll be darned. That's
huh.
funny.
So that's where you kind of got your auction bug, was
Oh, yeah, definitely.
that age going to
Definitely,
auctions.
Yeah, definitely.
Huh.
I made some good buys.
So when you bought the place, was it not furnished from the previous owner?
It was furnished,
Or it was crap, huh?
it was furnished. The appliances were furnished, but the rest of the furnishings were the people, the tenants.
Oh.
But some of them rented furnished apartments, and those are the ones we did first. Yeah. Some are really nice. There was one couple that worked at Ward's, which was close, for years. We'd move them from apartment to apartment. They'd redo the whole apartment. They liked doing it. And we'd give them a break on the rent. So we're doing pretty good.
Huh.
That was a fun place.
An
At
historic
night-
place.
At night, I'd do my homework. I was the office manager in charge till 10 o'clock at night. So at 10 o'clock, if I stayed over the weekend, I could watch the fights after the taverns closed at midnight. Across the street, they come out in the street and fight.
What a childhood.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's quite a deal.
Was Dad in any of those fights?
I doubt it.
He said after the tavern's closed.
These guys were all pretty young, and they put on a real show.
What do you guys remember about your sisters? You don't talk much about them. They were kind of a separate life from your.
Doris left home at 16, didn't she?
Yeah, and then she took Clarine not much longer.
That's right. She
They
went
both
to
left to California.
Went to California.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, she
that's
took
where
Clarine young too.
that's where Clarine met Louis Blanco.
Yeah, right.
Didn't even know he was a Mexican.
Huh.
So they were kind of out of our life, really.
Yeah, we never saw her. I don't remember.
In my 20s, I don't remember them around much at all.
I don't know. You finished up at St. John's, Milwaukee, 8th grade. Then you went to Central.
5 years. 5 years at Central.
How'd you go?
I'm just kidding.
How'd you get there? Did you take a streetcar?
No, we found
Carpool?
guys that drove. Yeah, right. Schreibers, you probably remember.
Oh yeah, I
Schreiber.
remember Ray
Remember
Schreiber.
Schreibers?
Ray Schreiber, I was in his class. Smart kid.
And it cost me what, $1 a week for gas.
Yeah, that's what I charged.
One time a cop stopped us. You know, I'm not joking. His kid's car, and the cop gets in there, and he said, "You know, boy," he says, "this car doesn't have any brakes." And we didn't care. Get us to the school.
I just stopped at the
I'm not driving.
Just kept gearing down, huh?
I don't know what he did, but we got there.
got there.
Never got
Who were you
killed.
driving with?
Schreiber.
No, but I mean, was it Foy's?
No, it was Schreiber.
Oh,
No,
Schreiber,
never-
Schreiber.
Yeah, never,
Oh, yeah,
never
yeah.
carpool with Foyt. I don't remember.
Schreibers
I
were a
don't
nice
remember.
family. They were good.
Yeah,
family.
they were
Good
very
people.
nice, very nice people.
And then your mom bought the house in Milwaukee, and you lived there for a while.
She bought that in '48. Paid $1,200 for it or something like that. About that, $1,100, $1,200.
The number keeps changing.
That's the
I heard
number I
7.
remember.
I heard 7.
100.
There was an outhouse.
700 was a rip.
There. Yeah. There was a little outhouse there. I remember. That's
Yeah,
too bad.
it was.
It was an
yeah.
outhouse?
Yeah, oh yeah. Wood stove. Here we go. I took care of all the wood. I remember that really well.
Yeah, you got my job.
The only thing I didn't like about the wood was like it was hot out. I'd push fire and all those little splinters would stick to me because the wood had full sawdust.
I remember cutting
You'd
myself.
shake it to load up my arm, take it, but you still get it over you.
Huh.
And there was no tub really to shower. I remember that. Didn't care about that part. I didn't mind the work part.
I didn't
That
like the wood. I didn't like the kindling. I cut myself
like
so
what?
much. I cut
Kindling?
myself with cutting, splitting kindling.
Oh, I'm good at that. I can do it blindfolded.
Yeah, well, good thing.
Now, when they bought that house, though, it didn't have that addition on it. Where your room was on that addition part?
That's right. When they bought that, it did not have the addition.
And Dad and his friends, I guess.
Yeah,
Did
carpenter
that.
friend.
The carpenter friend.
Mother says, best carpenter in the world.
He never
God,
measured
okay.
anything. He did everything by eyeball.
And as long as I knew it, it was never finished inside. It was just there.
Right.
Never was finished.
Just like your old house, huh?
That's right. That's right. Never was. That's right.
I think your room was finished.
I had walls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had walls. You couldn't walk through the bathrooms.
Yeah.
Can you believe we got $130,000 for that damn place?
I know, and I'm so pleased
I
that
was,
you got
I was
that.
absolutely shocked.
I still am.
Yeah, I tried to get more, but I wouldn't pay it.
Well, you did really well.
well,
I was pleased, man. We
was
got a
happy
little money.
too.
I was like,
Yeah,
that's
I was
great. I still
happy
got
too.
my money. My 14 years.
I was happy. Could see that.
What a mess.
And then on the property was I always remember there was a tree that Grandma talked about. You and Mom planted
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, what about you? Remember that?
Backyard?
We brought a little seedling back, about 2 feet tall, from our honeymoon. A little fir. We picked it up in Rockaway, in the railroad tracks. It was growing little seedlings. We put it in a can. I did. Brought it back and planted it there. Damn thing was there for 40 years.
Yeah.
Backyard.
It got pretty
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
The gal Pena, Mrs. Pena.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
She came down and asked permission to cut it.
Oh, yeah.
And I told her the tree's worth $300 or $400 if you can sell it to a logger. And you can keep the money for if you'll take it down. because they were afraid it'd fall and take one of the houses out.
I see.
So that's what they did. Took it down. That's a big sucker.
They grow
Yeah.
pretty fast.
That was a huge fir.
You took it out as a seedling along the railroad tracks, huh?
Yep. Just pulled it out of the ground. Didn't have a shovel or anything.
That's
Sand.
uprooted it?
Well, I put sand and watered it, took care of it, brought it back in the car and planted. When we got it home, Mom says, "Where are we going to plant this?" I don't know. We're in an apartment.
Let's go see Grandma.
Let's go see
Let's
Mom.
go see. Yeah,
She's got some land.
that's funny.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I remember her always pointing it out. It was a fond thing for her.
Yeah.
She's very proud of it.
Yeah. Who, Grandma or Jeannie?
Grandma.
Yeah.
I planted 2 trees back there and never said anything. No,
You should see.
I'm just kidding. Favorite.
You should see the Dawn redwood we gave him when he moved into his house. It was about up to here on me, maybe. I don't remember
Yeah,
exactly.
broomstick like that.
Yeah, it was just
Redwood?
it was a Dawn, D-A-W-N. They called it a Dawn, which is a fast-growing type, which I didn't know. They told me it'd get to 90 feet,
Nice.
and he told me it'd get to 120. You ought to see it. It's probably,
How tall is it?
is it that big around?
Well, at least, yeah. The very base,
How
it's
tall
probably
is
like
it
that.
now?
It's pushing
It's not.
60,
Yeah, 50, 60
50,
feet.
60 feet.
I-
That's one
when we
big
first
tree.
planted it would not grow during the season until about around July 4th. And then I look out the window from the bathroom and I would measure it from the height of the window. And
was
it would
growing.
grow like crazy until about September, but it would shoot up 3 to 4 feet in those 3
God,
months.
you're kidding.
No, it was just
3 to
incredible.
4 feet?
It's really slowed now,
Uh-huh.
but the first 10 years,
Really?
it shot up to 40 feet in 10 years.
You had a Jack and a Beanstalk thing.
Yeah.
going there.
It was. We'd go over there and I couldn't believe it. That thing would grow. Because we wouldn't see it maybe for a few weeks.
And we moved it once. We planted it inside
That's right.
the fence. And the landscaper said, that's going to get too big for that spot. You need to move it outside
Good
the
for
fence.
him.
But now we planted it 4 feet from the fence. I'm afraid that someday it's going to grow into the fence because it's about this far from the fence now, where it was 4 feet before.
That's one big tree.
It's kind of
Gonna
fun.
I think it's just going to get bigger at the base, don't you? Over
Yeah.
time. Maybe not in height so much, but
Yeah, there was a friend of Linda's had a farm in where was it? On Solvay Island area, I think. He still lives there. But he planted one of those same trees in his property, and I didn't know anything about him at the time. I said, "Wow! I mean, this thing was like 5 feet in diameter." I said, "That thing must be hundreds of years old." He says, "No, I planted that 60 years ago."
well, remember the one we planted at Old Boy Camp? I'd like to see that one.
Yeah.
I bet that sucker is big. We planted that in '73, right after we bought it. We had a bunch of them at La Bonita, remember? Seedlings? We had lots of trees. I must have
Oh
moved.
yeah, I remember that.
You were always planting something in
Yeah,
Lava Nita.
La Bonita, there
he
was
and
a lot
I,
of trees.
Mom was reading the paper one
Well, I
day.
got a million of them. I remember that.
Yeah,
And
she said,
roadies.
"Here's a
Trees.
What
And
is it?
roadies.
What do you call them places? Anyway, a plant store going on a business, a garden shop.
Okay.
And it's all the trees you can dig in a day for $15. So he and I went out there with a trailer.
I remember that.
Should have seen that damn thing coming home.
I remember that. I remember you guys doing that.
Well, then
There was a
when they
lot.
put in the Milwaukee Expressway, they demolished or got rid of a lot of the homes that were in the pathway.
That's right.
And you saw some ad for a place that was letting you come in and buy roadies so much per trailer load. I remember spending all weekend digging up what seemed like 4 or 5 trips of 30 total 40 roadies, and then we spent the next weekend planting them all over the yard. It's just-
I remember
he
that.
loved
too.
roadies, and they were like,
moved a bunch of them.
they were like
They're
getting them
beautiful.
for free.
But that's a lot of work, those babies.
Oh,
right?
sick of
You had to
digging
ball
holes.
them, right? And
Yeah,
get 'em out of the ground,
ball 'em
right,
all.
right.
a lot of
God,
work.
that was a lot of work.
And you had to get them in the ground quick, so we had to dig the holes. And
Well, at Fircrest, I moved 41 roadies there.
Did you really?
Yeah, 41.
Is that like all the rest?
all the way.
or-
No, Fircrest was
Fircrest.
2 houses back. From Augustine Court, before that was Hunter's Bluff, and then before
Oh,
that was
okay.
Fircrest.
Oh, okay.
And I planted them on first across the back by the deck, and then down both sides. Anyway, I planted 40.
even then, you were still planting.
Yeah,
Where'd you
yeah.
get those from, Mrs. Kotz?
A lot of them came from Oboy. Yeah.
Oh, you brought some with you.
That's what with me.
So you had to dig those up too, not just plant them, but dig
The
them
big
up.
ones, the really big ones that were at Oboy some came from your grandmother's place, Grandma Schrick. She let me dig in her yard when they found out they thought they were going to tear out the whole neighborhood, which they never did.
More ambitious than I ever was.
Well, The price was right.
That's why.
When they moved out of La Bonita, it was kind
That's
of
not
jungle
true. I
back
was
there.
always proud of you. I still am. How hard you work.
He's a good worker.
But it's called teaching them young. I know I was taught
That's
young.
right. Well, yeah, you were, but you pass it on. The kids are great that way.
I never did enjoy digging holes. Though.
I haven't thought about that chestnut tree hole for years. Digging that hole around that damn tree. We were crazy.
Oh
I don't know how
yeah,
now we
Adam's
ever
house.
moved
you
that.
mean?
Yeah, we had to get help and we moved it from when we dragged it out of the. We dug it around it, and then we dug this long sloping. Then we found out that it was too steep. We couldn't pull it with a Cadillac, so we had to dig more.
Oh,
Into the yard
Ramp, huh?
so that we could ramp it out. And it wasn't very far. We moved it over to here, near the hedges. They had holly hedges all around it. Mm-hmm. And Johnny tried to talk me into cutting those. I cut about 4 feet, and my arms, even with shirts on, I was just bleeding. I said, hey, I can't do this. That's too damn heavy.
right.
So he hired this old man that put it in. Like the guy was in my age, 80s, to come and do it. Took him like a month. It did. Because he could only do like maybe a day and a half at a time.
Yeah.
You ever cut holly hedges?
I have not.
They are bad
I have
news.
not done that.
Because the initial is okay because you're away, but when you start
Right.
trimming close,
Ah.
no matter what you're wearing, it'll rip your shirts to pieces.
Sounds fun.
So the River House, you guys went together to see the pictures you sent. You were there too, taking those with him after the flood.
Yeah.
What was that like? Well, you didn't own the house at the time.
Yeah, he bought it. That was his
Well, I
I
sold
thought
it.
you sold it to
I sold it.
Sowers.
I sold it before the '64 flood. Yeah, we rented it.
just before the flood, right?
Yeah, about 2 months. We rented it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He was retiring in California.
Right.
So we rented it, and then we found La Bonita, so we bought it and moved out. Thank God. And then when it was empty, the flood came.
Peter wasn't born yet, was he?
No.
He was born in '64,
Yeah.
later after the
Yeah,
flood.
yeah.
Okay.
Flood was 62
Tom was.
or 3.
I think he was born there.
Yeah, you're right.
Was he
No,
took
no, no.
pictures of him?
64. It was
Was he
flood
born-
He was a newborn in
Yeah,
La Bonita.
he was
Oh,
just in arms.
okay.
Yeah. And Mom said, if we don't sell it, we're going to walk away. And I said, yeah, we will.
Yeah, you want to get out of there, right?
Yeah, we were going to leave.
Right. And then the
So
flood. came, right?
she's the one that found La Bonita. Yeah.
Mom did?
Yeah, she found it advertised. Brand new house. Well, the guy lived there a year.
It was,
Really?
It was pretty nice.
19,005. Goodbye.
I'd say.
But that you were there 4 years. And a lot happened in 4 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Floods, earthquakes,
Started a business.
started a business.
A lot of, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of events.
You owned the holly orchard next to it, didn't you? You used to sell the crop every
I
Christmas.
did one year, yeah. I sold it to the guy
Brownells?
that raised all the Brownell, that's right. Yeah, well, paid the taxes.
Huh. Yeah, I remember them coming in and asking if they could harvest your crop, but you just let it sit. Usually you didn't.
Oh, I didn't. If I could, I looked for. I talked to Inscape, the Oregon City agriculturalist guy, about selling it, and he didn't know any place I could sell it. So I was kind of stymied. And they came to us because their crop had failed. They had
Oh.
a bad freeze that year, and they had all these commitments to make wreaths. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Holly. If I'd known that at the time, I would have jacked the price up. But I thought it was a fair price.
Huh. Yeah, I remember as a kid running around watching people harvest
Yeah.
the holly.
Yeah. They were variegated too, which is what they wanted.
Uh-huh.
And some of the fun times at the River House was I'd come there on my motorcycle and give you and Annie a ride.
Yeah.
You
That's
kind
right.
of remember that?
Down
We just-
Semple Road?
I think we stayed on Semple Road, right.
Mhm.
And,
That was a nice bike you had.
damn right.
It was a nice bike.
1125,
You
brand
kept
new
it-
right out of
You
England.
kept it clean as it was.
Yes, they were
Yeah.
brand new. That was fun. But it was fun taking the kids.
You two had similar interests in cars. You both had Morris Minors. And
Yeah, I bought
sold,
his.
I sold it to him.
You sold your first one to him, and you got another one.
Yeah.
I liked that little car.
I did too.
It was fun.
He and we'd drive out to the river house and hide in the trees in the orchard and wait for Mom
Really?
and Andy to drive by, and then we'd pop out behind him.
Yeah.
Really?
Kind of a
That's
cat and
funny.
mouse game.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't know that.
I'd leave the road, drive down the hill through the holly orchard. He thought that was pretty funny.
He did.
Did you tell? Does he know about our Wallowa trip where Jeannie came to get us? We couldn't see us.
I don't know, tell him.
Well, we had gone up and.
That's where
we-
you shot the 4-point.
Well, God, here we go. I'm 19. I never fired a big gun, right? We get on the very top of the hours, 3.5 hours timing. Right away, we see 2 bucks, a 2-point and a 4-buck. And I said, he hands me his rifle. Here I got his rifle. I've never fired his rifle before.
I had a scope. That's why I wanted you
But
to
it was close. It was out to my car. It wasn't very far. But I said, which one should I shoot? He says, the 4-point, you dumbass. He didn't,
The big one.
He didn't say, right, he didn't say dumbass. But, so I'm leaning there thinking, oh, this pressure. And I'm thinking, this is my big brother if I screw up. So anyhow, I fired and luckily hit him right in the head and he died instantly. And he fell down into a cliffy-like area, rocky area. So we had to come back. We gutted him and went back to the tent. Came back the next day to take him out. And we took him out the other side. There's a road over there. We told Jean about where we would be, and we're coming down. Here comes a car, godforsaken, 90 miles away. And she goes up. She doesn't see us, of course. And she starts driving back, and he squeezes off around in front of the car on the road. Here we go with that good shot again. And the dust goes, but she didn't see it. So, right?
That's right.
So she just goes on.
You did that to get her attention?
Attention, right? Yeah. I'm glad they were getting along right then. So anyhow, she came back a couple hours later, I think.
Yeah.
There's
we
a
had to
while.
cross the river, didn't we?
We had to cross our, and then, God, there was these black, what were they, bulls? Or what the hell were they, Black Angus or bulls or something? And, he's got all the weight, but I got some. And so he tells me, you go across the stream first. He says, I'll sit here. He says, if one of them come after you, I'll nail them. That's more or less. and I believed that he would, so I was pretty confident with him back there, the way he shoots. So we got across there, and she came back.
He was carrying 2 rifles and all our personal gear and some meat. And I had the rest of the meat. And we had to wade across the Amaha River, which was, waist deep?
Close, yeah.
In
Moving
places,
pretty good.
In
Moving.
places, he had to hold the weapons up because it was pretty deep, so up to here
Fun.
in holes. We got across that thing, and then we started down from there, and that's when he saw Mom coming. I think it was probably late afternoon.
It was a wild,
she
it was a
came
couple
back.
hours or 3.
Was she
maybe.
worried that she wasn't finding you?
Yeah,
Probably, yeah.
she was. But she we knew it was only one road,
Yeah.
and no way she could get out because she'd wind up in the Snake River. So she came back, and
That was a
saw
good
us.
feeling.
We just camped beside the road, waited,
That was a good feeling when she showed up.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And the nicest part was when we got back to camp, she had dinner already.
Oh, God.
She left it all warm, God, it was
She took
a
good
big
care
day.
of us.
That was a big day.
Yeah, she's great. You know that.
We had to
Great
climb
cook.
that damn mountain in the morning, like you said, 3 hours to get up on top.
Yeah.
I told him, we're only going to shoot trophy deer, not the first deer we see.
God, that place was loaded with deer.
They were all kinds
Really?
of
Loaded.
Oh,
50s, in the 50s, late 50s. Oh my God. We counted many doe on the way. Remember? If I said 100 or more, that'd be true, right?
Yeah, it'd be low.
Right. Hundreds of them. Honest
We
to God.
first went over there with Janet and Bud, the 4 of us. Janet would spy a couple of deer, and Jeannie would see them, and they'd say, "Oh, there's 2. Oh, there's 4." We'd stop the car and wait, and there'd be 40 would get up,
Yeah.
or
Well,
50.
bucks?
No,
The
none.
doe. The
all
bucks were up
does.
on top of the.
on top.
They knew where to be. Safe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was beautiful.
this country, a good country.
Oh, God, that was beautiful up there. I could have walked forever up there.
That's where we killed that bear one year.
The black bear rug you had in
We
the
call
house?
it Bear Canyon, yeah. We were
Huh.
trophy hunting.
You were together for
Bud
that?
and I. No, Bud was
Bud,
on.
his friend Bud.
We had to stop hunting together. It got too dangerous.
You two?
No, Bud,
Bud,
he was crazy.
he was kinda crazy.
He was crazy. Funniest thing I remember about Bud was we had this huge boulder, like 30, 40 feet tall, and we came to it, and we thought there might be deer on the other side, so we split. Each went around this way, and there was a deer, a big buck there, and I don't remember whether he startled it or I did, but it ran the other way, of course. And so I went away from the rock so I could get a shot, from not so close. And pretty soon I looked back, and the buck is up on top of the damn rock, looking down over the edge, and here's Bud circling the base. So I'm going like this, I'm trying to point that the deer's up there. So when Bud would go around this way, the deer went down the back and come around the other side. They'd go like this. That deer was
That's
smarter than
funny.
hell.
Yeah.
Big 4-point. And I thought to myself, I got my deer. I can't shoot that damn thing anyway. And Bud wouldn't want me to. We never did get that deer.
Good.
Got away. Enough stories, huh?
Oh, great.
Good stuff.
I love it.
Fun time.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Really good time.
Bad times up there. Last time we hunted with Bud, we were trophy hunting. We agreed we wouldn't shoot anything but a 4-point or bigger. So we started out same place on that Big Sheep Creek. Only then it was late. It was fall, like maybe late October. I don't remember. We had to take off our boots and wade that creek in the cold and reboot and then climb. And on the way up, I noticed he started limping. So I got up to him and I said, "What's wrong?" And he said, "Well, I think my knee is starting to bother me." And I looked down and that damn knee is about 3 times the size it should be.
Oh no.
I can't even get his pants leg up without cutting the jeans. And I thought, well, there goes our hunting trip. So I said, well, let's get back down to the car and I'll go to a doctor. And he said, well, I can't walk. I said,
Oh
well,
God, you're kidding.
so let's leave the weapons here and I'll help you down. So we had to leave our weapons and our gear. We went back down the mountain, got in the car, and drove into Imnaha. You know that little town. You've been to Imnaha. No electricity, no phones.
No, hey.
Anyway, and they said, yeah, there's a doctor, but he's fly fishing. He's up. They described where he was from there. And here I had Bud in the car, and he was bad shape. So I got him some aspirin in the store, and I cut his pants leg up above the knee so it wouldn't hurt so bad. And then I went looking for this damn doctor. So I got out of the car on this stream, and I left Bud, and I went down, and I found this guy fishing. Yeah, he says, I'm Dr. So-and-so. And I said, well, I told him the story. I can't treat him. What the hell you mean you can't treat him? Now I was getting really mad. I said, I've been an hour and a half getting here, and there's nobody else. He says, I'm not licensed in Oregon. He says, I just have a place to live here, a vacation spot, and I'm fishing, and I just can't do it. I said, look, I got a weapon back in the car. You're either going to come with me now, or I'm going to come back and get you. Okay. I put him in the car. He says, but I'm not responsible. I said, I don't care. So he did. He treated him, and I got him to a hospital.
What was his problem, you know?
I don't know. It was
Okay.
deep in the leg. He had
Okay.
I
Oh,
don't
you
know.
said he was on that river. I thought something he caught on the river. It was
No,
after he
we-
waded the river. And
No. That's
Okay, nothing to do with the
no
river.
river.
Okay.
No.
I didn't know.
Anyway, so I finally got him to a hospital and got him home.
Jeez.
That was a hell of a day. That's the last time we hunted together.
Really?
That was
Did
too
you ever
bad.
go back and get your weapons?
Yeah, I did. After I got him in the hospital, I went back and got all of it. Yeah, and I took all our camp gear too. Yeah.
He does it all, doesn't he? Your father?
Yeah, that's when I was young and strong.
Does it all. Should have seen that first time we went up to Wallowas, your little trailer, which I've got pictures of at home.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
49
I got-
Chevy?
No, just a little trailer. The trailer.
We pulled
yeah.
it with that little 49 Chevy.
Yeah, but I have a picture of that trailer because he loaned it to me to take my sickle down to the beach, which I did. But anyhow, he had that thing so loaded, but so cool. When we went camping, deer hunting, you know. God, it was so cool. You had that baby. This goes here, that goes there, and
Everything was
pull it.
organized, huh?
Oh yeah,
It was only a two-wheel trailer. We had to.
You carry a lot of weight on that
a lot
little
of weight,
two-wheel trailer,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
I don't know if I do that again on a two-wheel trailer.
Remember we got in that snowstorm one time on there? Were you with us?
I don't remember snow.
Jeannie
Oh
and I-
yeah, I remember when we had our time.
We had a
getting
hard
out.
time getting out.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, it was snow. That had me
Yeah,
worried.
that,
No
was,
chains.
that had me worried too.
No chains?
Yeah, we had to go
chains.
up a
Little
pretty
Chevy.
good to get out of up
Yeah,
in
we
the
had to get a
road.
little run. We had to back it up.
You had a Chrysler then, didn't you?
Maybe we did.
Chrysler?
We might have had
that
that.
cream-colored
I might
Chrysler.
have had that wagon. Yeah, maybe we did.
Wagon was it? Okay. Anyhow, yeah, that was a scary time. You had me a little worried there. I thought, come on, big
Well, the
brother,
first
let's
time
get
you
us
were
out of
up
here.
First time you came up with us, we all stayed in the tent.
Yeah, I
We had a
remember that.
windstorm at night. I spent the night holding that damn center pole so the tent wouldn't collapse.
Huh, I don't remember that. I
Because it was
slept
windy?
well.
Oh God, it was a terrible storm. Your mother never slept either.
I don't remember that. I don't remember the
That
storm.
was a bad. But the snow was bad.
Getting up, yeah, getting the back up on the road.
We had to give
was
that all
bad.
up. Got too old.
Before someone got seriously hurt.
You were like 27 years old, or 26,
No, not
29.
pretty young.
You were very
Well,
young.
Bud and Janet used to come and visit us when I was in school at LeGrand, and he and I would go out and hunt. Oh, and
Really?
Jeez, we got lost in a blizzard one night. We wound up. We'd walk hours a night.
Oh,
We
you're
wound up
kidding.
in a hollowed out, great big, huge stump put our gear on top and covered up the carcass. In the morning, we got up and it was calm and clear, and we got out and walked over to the edge and looked out, and there was the town of Elgin. We were about 7 miles off course.
7 miles.
I never heard that story before.
No
Oh, that
GPS back then, huh?
That was bad.
Did you guys carry compasses with you or anything?
We did at first, but
just-
we gave them up. What we should have carried is flashlights. We should have had headbands with lights. They didn't have those then, so you could see. Just lighting a match and looking down at a drop off. Not good.
Lighting a match.
A drop off, that wouldn't be good at all.
That's cheap. All good.
Good.